For example, it's easier to pay for a software than to maintain that software. But once the software is installed, you have to pay for licenses. I often argue with the ICT director. I often get confused. There is a Mr. FS. All of the users of the EPs, I don't know how many of them, we pay licenses for each one of them to access that. So whether someone is in Oro, is in Freetown, is at education, is at Ministry of Health, as long as they are using that software, we pay Ministry of Finance the licenses. We will not expect a ministry to pay for the licensing because that is centralized. So you can see a huge budget, and I believe that we have the highest ICT budget. I'm sorry.
The Principal Financial Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, Sir Joseph, has on Monday, 27 September, during the 2022 budget hearings and discussions, emphasized that his ministry wants to strengthen its capacity in the area of information communications technology in their 2022 financial year budget presented to non-state actors, civil society organizations, and the media. He revealed that the country has over 190 ministries, departments, and agencies, and he said digitalization is very much key to transparency and accountability.
We are here to defend our budget. We carry the bulk of the budget. For instance, we just ordered for licenses, Microsoft licenses. It's costing us over $700,000. I was really reluctant. There is stupidly for myself. I use a professor to contact the ICT providers if we are to pay directly. The difference was only the tax with a little margin of 2% of the local representative that is supplying us. So it made no sense for me to believe that. So that is why when you see our budget, nearly 40% of that is ICT related.
Sir Joseph further explains that the biggest challenge that keeps on resurfacing in the audit report is in respect of proper documentation, adding that over the years, documentations are being done manually.
We have about 190-something MPAs. Ideally, in today's 21st century, we expect all of them to input all their data. What all their category will do is to print checks. Simply in trying to digitize, which will take me to the audit recommendations, is to get each and every document uploaded on the system, integrated, so that when the Auditor General visit the Minister of Health, everything that they require is online. They can see it. The biggest challenge we have with the audit recommendation, if some of you that are reading the Auditor General's recommendation relating to inadequate documentation or documentation, those supporting documents, because they are done manually. I will tell you for this document that we distributed to you, after 1 month, not up to 50% of all sitting here will know where the document is. So if an auditor is going to audit you and sees that nearly 60%, 50% don't have the documentation stored where it should be,
he speaks more to beyond models after their 150 billion euros 2022 financial year budget presentations to NSAs and CSOs.
So try to create a balance between what we do, what is given to us, and what is given to other ministry in a way that is transparent and equitable in the distribution and management of resources. Some state actor gentleman didn't really get it right. We provided about 71 billion, that is about 80% of the allocation to local councils as at September. 71 billion, that was 34 billion in April, then another 37 billion in September. We made a press release. He was not well informed anyway. But even when you talk about delayed disbursement, it will always happen. You plan to expend 10 billion a day, and then the revenue comes in 5 billion, you have to readjust. The expect daily revenue expectation is about 25 billion, but because many things are manual, they are not automated, Some days it will be 10 billion, some days it can go as low as 8 billion, some days it can go to 32, 50 billion, etc. So that poses serious challenge in the release of allocation to NDAs. The delay will go on and they will continue to occur until the revenue institution improves. Sierra Leone is not alone. Sierra Leone is not island. We are affected both by domestic and external factors. Everyone knows across the world that freight charges have increased. Everyone knows around the world that prices yesterday are not the same today. But as I said, the prices in Sierra Leone are relatively better than our neighboring countries and even West Africa, Africa in general. The price of rice is the lowest in Sierra Leone, in West Africa. Even when you look at the basic thing, they say tapalapa breast is cheaper in Sierra Leone than in the rest of West Africa. Here in other countries is minimum $1.1 per liter. Here is less than $1 per liter. If you look at the bag of rice, which is less than $40 per 50 kg, the rest of other West African countries and even Africa is higher than $50. That is well known. Possibly we need to do more to engage the public. I think that is the aspect of it.
He explains the reason for the change of their budget ceiling, which was initially 52 billion yuans, but later the ministry ended up requesting over 150 billion yuans.
Well, it's a difference. You see some ministries, they provided them 100 billion ceiling, 50 billion ceiling, they brought a ceiling over 200 billion. That is just normal. We are human beings, just like any other FDAs, a Ministry of Health and Education. We believe in that in undertaking activity this and this. And don't forget, Ministry of Finance, a treasury is unique. We provide services across all MDAs. We have about 68 IFPs free balance site. We service all of those things. We hold the hub of the resources. The automations licenses will be very close to $1 to $2 billion a year, serving everyone. Also, all agencies across the country will pay their subscriptions to international organizations. That impact our budget. All their service payment on behalf of MPs, all of them managing projects are either grants or loans. Those that are loans, we implement. We pay the debt service for those projects that they are implementing.
The Principal Financial Secretary cautioned MDAs to implement activities that are COVID-19 environmentally friendly, which severely negatively impact the economy.
Implementing activities within COVID environment, which is severely negatively impacting on our economy and global economy. So MPs have to take that into account in submitting their budgets and even limit how they expand on activities and programs.
The ongoing budget hearing and discussion gives opportunity to ministries, departments and agencies to present their work for 2021 and plan for 2022. Reporting for Beyond Borders Online Network Television, I am Mohammed Amara Gando.